The weight of the world. While Buffy is in a catatonic state, Glory prepares to destroy reality.
Actually, it's closer to 6 septillion kilograms.
Okay.
We open with the goblins prepping Glory for her ceremony, but Glory's irritated that everything has gone well for her, but she's still not happy.
We see that she has Dawn tied up and gagged, per the small print that Joss Whedon snuck into her contract. The gang is still in the abandoned gas station from last episode, and Spike says he can hotwire Ben's car, but Buffy seems to have mentally shut down. What a promising start to the episode.
Xander and Spike start to fight about what they should do when Willow gets fed up and starts directing everybody to their separate tasks.
She gives us a recap in case we missed the previous episode.
Glory has Dawn. Sometime real soon, she's going to use Dawn to tear down the barrier between every dimension there is.
Spike asks Willow what they should do if they come across Ben, and he finds out that none of them remember Ben transforming into Glory right in front of them, and even after he tries to explain it to them, it doesn't stick.
So we get this very important plot device in the second to last episode of the season, because the writers finally realized they were in this corner and gave a really dumb explanation to get themselves out of it.
See, I thought it actually explained a lot.
It did, but it felt like it was thrown in because the writer said, well, we got to address this somehow.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess I'm glad that they didn't just make it a little throwaway thing and it actually becomes kind of a point in the episode.
I hated that part of this episode.
Okay. Glory and her minions head to a construction site where the CGI'd people are working. One of her goons says he has to anoint the key, but Glory makes them all leave and talks to Dawn, trying to comfort her by telling her she's not really human and is going to fulfill her true purpose.
But then Glory gets upset that she's trying to make Dawn feel better because Glory doesn't do things like that.
She realizes she feels guilty for what she's doing and wonders if it's caused by a spell, but thinks it's something else. So she calls her goons back in to finish the anointing, thereby making Dawn Airplane Kid number 2, because he was the anointed one.
Oh. What season was that?
Season 1?
Dang.
Yeah, I think he died in the third episode of season 2, I think, because that's when Spike first showed up.
Back when Spike was cool.
Yeah, long time ago.
Elsewhere, Willow is prepping the spell to help Buffy by going inside of her mind, and she leaves Tara in the care of Anya.
Willow magics her way into a house in Buffy's head and finds Buffy as a child. Child Buffy tells Willow she doesn't want to go out because she likes it there, and suddenly her parents arrive with baby Dawn.
Yeah, I said Joyce and her dad, who probably has a name.
Hank. I can't believe I remember that, but it was Hank.
What season was that?
I don't know. And somebody's probably going to correct me in the comments. It's probably not Hank, but I'm pretty sure it's Hank.
I was impressed that this little girl had Sarah Michelle Gellar's speech patterns and inflections down really well.
Suddenly they're in the magic shop, where Buffy is putting a book on a shelf. It seems to be important. And then Willow finds herself at the fire from the Vision Quest episode.
And she sees the first Slayer when she told Buffy that death is her gift. Meanwhile, Spike makes his way to Glory's old hideout and finds it abandoned, and also a bunch of Ben's stuff.
As Giles gets out of the hospital, Xander tells him about Willow's plan and says the CGI'd people have left. Spike shows up and tells them he knows about a demon that can help find Glory, and then he lights up a cigarette in the middle of the hospital hallway, right in front of a no smoking sign.
Glory is upset that she's gaining Ben's memories, and that the magic separating the two of them seems to be fading. She orders one of her goblins to remove Ben from her, because she's afraid she won't be able to kill Dawn. And then she says, well, I'll just kill Dawn right now. But the goblins say she can't, or else they'll be stuck on Earth forever. So I'm glad there is an actual time when she's supposed to kill Dawn. Otherwise, she should have just done that 10 episodes ago.
In Buffy's head, Willow follows her to a room in a house with Joyce's grave in it, and Buffy repeats that death is her gift, and says it's all she is.
And as she says that, she smothers Dawn with a pillow.
Glory turns back into Ben, who says he's starting to remember Glory killing everybody. Dawn says he has to get her out, but he starts focusing on Glory taking away his normal life. What a Buffy.
He eventually says he'll get Dawn away as far as he can, and they bust out.
Spike takes Xander to the Not Jeffrey Combs guy from the episode Forever, and he talks about whether Dawn decided not to bring back Joyce, which was a good callback, I guess.
And since Glory's magic is wearing off, Xander now remembers that she is Ben.
Spike tells him they're looking for Glory, and he advises that they give up, but says he might know a guy in China who can help. Spike figures out that he's lying and thinks he's trying to block them from something they need. The guy grabs a sword, and Spike knocks it away, but somehow gets knocked down or something. It was really weirdly edited.
And then he and Xander are attacked by this demon's ridiculous CGI tongue.
The demon reveals that he worships Glory and throws a box in the fireplace. Xander gets up and fights him, killing him with the sword, while Spike retrieves the box.
That box was so thick. It would have taken so long for whatever was inside there to actually be burned.
Why not open the box and dump it out in the fire? Or even misdirect them now that Spike thinks that he was blocking them from something, pick up something else and make it look like that's what they needed. Although, I guess he thought he was going to kill them, so. And they leave the demon with the sword sticking out of his chest, but after they go, his eyes open.
Ben gets Dawn in an alley, but keeps changing back and forth into Glory, and then Ben, and then Glory, and then Smeagol, and then Gollum, and it was all over the place.
At one point, Ben breaks a bottle and threatens to drain Dawn's blood so Glory can't use it. Glory offers Ben immortality, but Ben says he couldn't live with letting her kill Dawn, even though he was just threatening to kill her.
He eventually accepts Glory's deal, saying it's either him or Dawn, and he chooses himself.
What a Buffy. Willow tries to tell Buffy she's stuck in a loop, going through the same scenes over and over.
And if she just followed Riker's plan, they would be able to escape the loop.
Willow gets to the point where Buffy puts a book on the shelf in the magic shop, and Buffy tells her not to question it, but Willow says there must be something there that she wants her to see. And Buffy finally admits that was the moment that she quit, realizing she couldn't beat Glory.
And what a relief it would be if everything was just over. So in her mind, she has killed Dawn.
Willow tells her to snap out of it, saying it's just guilt, and she shouldn't feel bad for not wanting to have to deal with everything. She says Dawn is still alive, and she still has a chance to save her.
Yeah. That's nicer than the way I said it. I said, she says Dawn isn't dead yet, but she will be if Buffy doesn't wake the up and do something.
So Buffy wakes the up and starts crying. I don't think that's the something you had in mind, but at least it's something.
Yeah.
At the magic shop, Buffy walks in, and no one really asks any questions. They just assume she's okay now.
They fill her in on what's happened, and Giles says Glory will use Dawn's blood to open the dimension portals, which Buffy should already know because the General told her last episode.
And the only way to close the portal is to stop the blood flow by killing Dawn. The weight of the world. Overall,
Willow doing a bunch of memory hopping was reminiscent of the episode you and I both really liked, which was the last episode of Season 4, right?
Correct. Restless.
Yeah, so good. I can't remember which one it was. But Buffy's big reveal that she just feels guilty was such a letdown due to its simplicity, its normalness, and more of the self-pity we've come to expect from the main character of this show. The Ben-Glory connection being erased from everyone's mind, to me, was not funny even the first time, but they kept dropping that joke in there like it was the funniest thing the writers had ever thought of. The only part I actually enjoyed in this episode was the beginning, when Willow took charge and told everybody what to do, but unfortunately, that's where that ended. Everything after that was pretty lame. Nothing really happened in this episode other than Ben deciding to follow Glory's plan and that big Smeagol-Gollum conversation. I was expecting something much greater than what we got, especially being so close to the end. There's only one episode left, so hopefully that will make up for this one. And the Knights didn't show up here either. So are they truly just all dead? Are they gone? That's lame. I did not think this was a good episode, especially being so close to the climax of the season. I gave it a D+.
Jeez.
It wasn't good.
I gave it an A-.
What?
No, I'm kidding. I gave it a B- though, which is still decently high-ish for this season.
I'm looking forward to your explanation here.
I thought this episode was more interesting than most this season, but still not great. The stuff in Buffy's head I also felt seemed like an attempt to replicate the visions from Restless, but it wasn't as interesting or effective. And Buffy being taken out of commission for the entire episode was lame, but I did like how the episode ended with Giles' revelation of how to stop Glory being by doing exactly the thing that was traumatizing Buffy in the first place.
So that jacks it up to B range for you?
No, I'm not done.
Alright.
The scenes with Glory and Ben going back and forth went on way too long, but at least they did explain things in this episode. Some things that have been bugging me for the entire season. I expected more Knights to show up. If they don't show up next episode, it's going to make their entire existence this season feel pretty pointless. And I wonder what the Jeffrey Combs looking guy is going to do next episode.
Yeah, I hope he actually shows up.
I'm trying to think of why I went so high with a B- because I don't have any other positive comments. You know what? I'm going to go down to a C+. Yeah, because it explains some things.
All right.
There's just one episode left in the season. I'm really hoping it's a good one, because most of this season has been pretty mediocre in my opinion.
Yeah.
It feels like the writers knew where the season was going to go, what the ending was going to be. It just has taken forever to get there, so I really hope it's worth the payoff.
Yeah, they knew what was going to happen and what needed to happen, but they said, damn, we have to make it fill up 25 episodes or whatever. 26? How many?
22. See, it just feels like way more than it actually is.
Yeah.
So the pieces are all in place. I mean, we have just the final battle. I think it would have worked a lot better if things had been better developed leading up to this, especially the knights, again.
Just cut out more filler.
Yeah, I mean, instead of having the same things repeat over and over, explore things, explain some things. Some of the things that have been explained in these past couple episodes, or even just introduced, like the knights, do that earlier, develop that earlier, spend time on that. That means there's more things going on, everything doesn't feel the same, and when we get to the end, things feel like they matter more, and they make more sense, and they're more developed.
That's what I said last episode in my wrap-up.
Yeah, maybe.
Thanks for listening. So we got one episode left. It better be glorious. Because so far, it has not been.
Oh, jeez. Well, it can't be worse than that.
Thanks for watching.